From the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, this is an ITTV special report.
Our next guest is from the company behind a lot of the popular shows that are streaming live content online these days. And, of course, we hope the popular Into Tomorrow that is doing a lot with their products every time we travel around the world and remote broadcasts. And as we are doing with all 3 weeks' worth of CES coverage, all the radio interviews are also on video. So you can come and see the guests and see the products we're talking about and take a look behind the scenes, all the cool stuff. Senior VP of Strategic Development with NewTek is Philip Nelson, his own self. Hey, Philip, welcome back.
I am so glad to be here with you guys again this year.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. And, of course, we're talking about the TriCaster, and we'll talk more about that in a moment. But you've asked someone else to join us in this interview segment.
Well, you know, the thing that's really exciting, and I'll link it all together, you know, this year is the year of streaming, in my opinion. Really, if you have a major event, streaming is no longer an option.
Yeah, you better be streaming.
Your streaming strategy has to be part of any idea these days, whether it's X Factor or the NBA or MTV or even a high school daily newscast. And so Caitlin is a TriCaster expert. And, you know, one of the things when we designed TriCaster, and for those of your listeners that really don't know what it is, TriCaster is a live television truck in a box, basically.
Yeah.
It takes the multiple cameras and adds in graphics and rolls in video clips and allows you to create a show that looks like television. And what's exciting for us is when we designed TriCaster, we wanted to make live TV affordable, portable, and easy to use. And so, as you mentioned, all the big guys are using it. I mean, X Factor and the NBA and all these cool people, the Miss Universe pageant. But what's really exciting is the same TriCaster that they're using at the NBA is being used by her school. And tell us about your daily newscast.
Well, mainly at our school, we have morning announcements is what we call them. And the kids, actually, they get to do it. Everyone, like all the 5th graders, they mainly enter because all of them want to do it, but only like 8 or 9 of them get picked with the help of our librarian, Mrs. Barber, of course.
And, of course, mention your school.
Sable Palm Elementary.
Sable Palm Elementary in Naples, Florida. So even if the folks in Naples, Florida can have a TriCaster and take full advantage of all of its features. Tell us what the Tri in TriCaster is. I always like when you explain that, so people say, well, what makes it Tri?
Well, the reason we called it a TriCaster is because it can broadcast to 3 things at one time. It can go out live to digital signage, so LED screens or LCD video screens, or projectors. So in churches, it can go out to the projectors. It can go out live to broadcast television. So you can send it to an uplink truck or a microwave or closed-circuit TV like her school.
Yeah.
Everybody in their school can watch those live announcements in the morning. And then the third is live webcasting. So you have 3 choices: television, digital screens, or web, all out of the same device. And it's easy enough that elementary schools and middle schools can use it to do their daily newscasts, but it's powerful enough that the Miss Universe pageant can stream the crowning moment.
There you go. And Into Tomorrow can do all kinds of cool things. In fact, I'm going to ask Andres to pan on over to our TriCaster. You can see us using here in the booth, and you get kind of an idea of it's a television truck in a box. It is, in fact, a very good computer with all the additional accoutrements that one would expect in order to be able to accomplish this. You can see all the various video connectors and audio connectors. In this case, this is, of course, the high-def unit, the big boy. You've got a switcher right here and the ability to just do dissolves and fades and all kinds of special effects. And Caitlin, you even use these kinds of things at your school, right? I mean, the school teaches students how to take advantage of all kinds of great production values, huh?
So one of the neat things in the educational market about live is when I went to school, television production was live.
Yeah.
You know, you learned the live production workflow. But in the last 10 years, it's really shifted to becoming an editing class. You go to a video class and you learn to use Final Cut or Premiere or whatever. And so what TriCaster is bringing back is that team environment of live TV, because if I'm an editor, I'm sitting there in front of the computer by myself editing a show. But like when you guys do your morning newscast, how many students are involved in doing that morning newscast?
About like 8 or 9.
So other students like take turns talking about what today's lunch is, or
Yeah.
about the
lunch. That's my job right now.
What are the
Oh.
different jobs that you guys have on the show, though?
Well, there's a person who says the lunch menu. There's one who says the weather. And then there's a pledge. And then, like, one of the teachers, like, mainly it's our PE teacher or our student counselor, they come up and they do the Sable Palm update, which that's, like, all the stuff that's going on that day or for the week.
And the cool thing is everyone in the whole school gets it on the TVs in all of the classrooms, right? So
Yeah.
everyone sees the live morning announcements.
Yeah, so if we mess up, then it's kind of bad things. Everyone will
Well,
see
but
that.
you learn from
It's
it,
fun,
right?
though.
Because it's live, but you learn.
And behind the camera, you have a TriCaster operator and multiple camera operators. And so that's the really neat thing for education. It brings students that have different interests together. Some kids don't want to edit.
Yeah.
Some kids don't want to switch the switcher. Some kids want to be on camera. So so you bring a lot of different students together, and it really builds a team. And what they're learning at Sable Palm School is the same workflow that's being taught to people doing high-end webcasts for the Video Music Awards.
Love it. And of course, streaming, as you said, Philip, is no longer an option. You've got to do it, and you've got to take a peek at what NewTek is doing with the TriCaster. And there are different versions of it as well, so there's something that's going to fit everybody's budget and everybody's needs, whether it be your school or your job or your church or your sporting event, whatever the case. Special events, of course. Check it out at NewTek, NEWTEK.com. Look for all the TriCaster goodies, and you'll see what Into Tomorrow does with it as well. Thank you so much, Philip, for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Caitlin, for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. Say hi to Madison when you get a chance, all right?
Okay.
And your dad, Steve.
All right.
All right, because he's helping out too. Of
Yeah.
course, Beth is working too, your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're back with more from Las Vegas as Into Tomorrow continues. I'm Dave Graveline. This, the Advanced Media Network.